Houston, we have a problem. Zach Evanish here, Underground Strength Gym, Edison and Manasquan, New Jersey, and undergroundstrength.tv. Yesterday was working with an athlete, a incoming freshman football player. We are 1 month out from the beginning of school. They started weightlifting, and this athlete began training with us 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, he was unable to do a bodyweight squat properly, and it's still actually extremely shaky. His workout centered around real basic, simple exercises. Some of them still are not the most stellar in technique, mainly because his body is just still that weak. It's going to take a lot more time and a lot more effort, not just in the gym, but out of the gym, with proper sleep, proper nutrition, proper mindset, reading inspiring books, autobiographical in nature, things that will change his mindset. But the bottom line of the title here of Houston, we have a problem, is I was trying to connect with the football coaches at that team, and basically independent strength coaches like myself, we have about a 95% fail rate when it comes to connecting with high school sport coaches for whatever reason it is. As Jim Rohn says, mysteries of the mind. We will never really know. So I was reaching out to them to see when they have their freshman football workouts or football workouts in general. They started their workouts. I never heard from the coaches, was trying to help them. And I asked the kid, what did you do in the weight room? He said, I did back squats and bench press. So this athlete cannot do a proper bodyweight squat yet, but the coaches have him doing back squats, putting weight on his back. So we've got a problem right there from a safety standpoint and effectiveness standpoint. Then he was doing the bench press. Not too bad. He's unable to do one push-up. He's unable to do a squat. He's unable to do a push-up. He does his push-ups with his hands elevated. He does bodyweight squats going onto a high box, or he gets about 2/3 of the way down without a box with good technique, not perfect technique. So what is the problem? Just like when we go to school as young kids, we go to preschool, kindergarten, then we go through the elementary grades, the middle school grades, and then high school. Well, here's a kid who enters a high school weight room, and essentially he's not going through preschool, elementary school, or middle school in terms of weightlifting, strength training. He hasn't done the early progressions, the beginning, the basics, or any of the intermediate work. So in school, our beginner work is done at the preschool and in the elementary school. Our intermediate work is done at the intermediate and middle schools. And then our advanced work in high school and college. And just like going to school, that's what athletes need. Beginner exercises for your newer athletes or your weaker athletes. Not all upperclassmen are ready to do what kids that age are ready to do. Nowadays, the year 2015, kids are actually much weaker than they were 3, 4, 5 years ago. There's a lot less activity even in that short time period. So back in the day, we used to be able to actually move kids, move athletes quicker through our introductory and intermediate workouts. That process is taking longer and moving along slower for the reason that they're showing up weaker and more deconditioned, more out of shape, and also the mindset and their lifestyle is completely different than it was 5 years ago. They're even more connected to all their computer stuff, so they're less active. So here's my tip for the coaches out there. Create a beginner and an intermediate program for all your athletes. Before they're benching, I want to see X number of push-ups. How many push-ups do they need to do before that? What is the progression to the bench press? How about push-ups? How about floor pressing with a barbell or dumbbells? Then we could move to heavier weight, heavier progressions on those exercises. Then when the body has that tightness and understands the technique of horizontal pushing, then we could move to the bench press. What about the back squat? Before we start a kid on a back squat, how many bodyweight squats should he be able to do, or she? How many bodyweight lunges should they be able to do? What kind of stability are you looking for in the trunk and the overall quote-unquote core? I know that's a buzzword people like to throw around. And we build these up. Doing great at push-ups helps the squats, because if they do them properly, their abs and their entire trunk develop stability. Before somebody's able to do good bench press, we also need to strengthen the shoulders and triceps. So we're going to do bodybuilding work. We're going to do one-arm dumbbell clean and press, or a kettlebell clean and press. high rep band tricep pushdowns to build up the triceps, a lot of band pull aparts to build up the support structure. The bottom line is this: independent strength coaches like myself are trying to help sport coaches. Stop saying no, guys. We're here to help you. We're not going to steal your job. We're going to make your job easier by making your athletes stronger, faster, tougher, more confident. There's nothing bad that could come with that. With regards to the parents watching this, parents, when your kids start being required to lift weights with a high school coach, you need to take a stand and say, listen, I'm paying for an independent strength coach who is an expert. I need to be able to work with the two of you. I understand he needs to be here in the weight room, but I want my son or daughter working with an expert. As a parent, you have a right to take a stand. If a coach punishes you or your child for pursuing excellence, then unfortunately you've got a problem right there with ego. So let's start working together. And coaches, educate yourself. I've got tons of free stuff. Go to undergroundstrength.tv, and you guys could also reach out to me through Twitter at @zevanesh and ask any training questions. We have to work together, because the bottom line about this video and everything else is, who are the most important people in this equation? It's not the coaches, it's the kids. Kids are number one. Live the code 365, undergroundstrength.tv.